activities that we were going to do this semester or not last semester and this semester. So once we got all our members, we started fundraising. Our fundraising was working at the pit and Steeler games, which is actually hard work. We had to, pat people down. They came through the gates. People had to walk the balconies, just make sure people were there and not in the aisles. So that was a good 8 hours of work to put in, but we made a lot of money for our club just by doing those. We also did a popcorn fundraiser, and we sold sweatpants that said College of Education on them, because there's not a lot of clothing in the bookstore for the College of Education. So once we raised enough money and we asked who wants to go to conference, and we explained that this is a national conference. Last year we went to PSTA, which was in Hershey, which is what the organization usually goes to. So this was kind of a bigger deal, and we were actually lucky to be able to present at this conference. So we had 23 members that were willing to go. We were juniors and seniors, and once we got everyone who wanted to go, we split up in 3 different groups, or we split up in groups with 3 people, and we had to write a lesson plan that was related to a literature book that had to incorporate a science activity in it. So all our lesson plans were submitted to Dr. Snyder, and he reviewed them as well as everyone's book. And then we basically were set to go to conference. So I'm going to talk about what we did there.
About the registration and volunteering we did to get a discounted price to get to go to conference. Registration, basically went there, you had tickets that they would print out for you, hand them a ticket, and you get a bag with all the materials in it, flyers for different cool little setups, the booths, and once we were done with registration that day, when we volunteered, we were behind the scenes and we were actually filling those bags with the different programs for each day, all the free things, like there were wiki sticks, there were all kinds of different things to put in the bags, and there were also people helping give information for people at the conference, and we were just really excited right there. We finished, there were 10,000 bags that needed filled, and that's when we were done with all of this, so we were really excited.
So after we were done with our volunteering, we were actually allowed to go to the breakout sessions. And we were able to go to the exhibit, and this exhibit hall was huge. It was probably, I would say like 6 times the size of this room. It was so big, and there were thousands of exhibits there that we could go and see. There was Discovery Channel, National Geographic. There were also little booths, and almost every booth had some kind of free giveaway. Actually, one of our members got this really expensive microscope that she won, so that was really exciting for her. There were a couple exhibits that had animals. This is Lindsay, and I don't know what she's doing, some kind of praying mantis maybe. So she got to see that. And there was a couple bugs. There was also a lot of animals that you could look at and touch and feel, and like penguins and things like that. This is Jen and Mike doing registration. We're doing registration here. Here are the penguins. That was a big hit with everybody there because everyone thought they were so cute. And that's Jen and Jen. And Kylie is Kim. And this was a sloth that we got to see. And you can see how big this exhibit hall really was. Each little section there was a different exhibit. So it took hours to just get through the whole thing. We didn't even have time to see every exhibit. There. Who saw this? This is a cool little guy.
This is a fun little animal. I apologize because I cannot remember the name, but they were quizzing everyone on guessing what other animal that we are familiar with that it was related to. And we were guessing gophers or beaver because it was small in size, and here it's actually related to the elephant. something that none of us had thought of. So we thought that was very interesting. The whole exhibit was from SeaWorld, and their goal was to bring out brochures about bringing your kids there to further your education outside of school and give them experiences like that. So they brought it to us to show us a few of their animals. It's really neat to see.
And then this was Bill Nye, the science guy. He got to present, and we went to a pretty big banquet hall for that. There were hundreds of people that went to see him, and he talked about a lot of things. I was there for the question and answer section, and he talked a lot about space and his theories and what he believes we can conquer in space and where we were going with that. He talked about the Mayan calendar. He said the world won't end in 2012 because they just ran out of room on the rock, so that's why their calendar ended. So he was really cool, and he talked a lot about his beliefs, and everybody had a lot of questions for him. So this was a big hit for, and they ran into him in the hallway. So Jen and Emma ran into him and grabbed a quick picture. This was also outside of the conference. We also, I don't know if we have a picture of him, we got to see Hank, who he's a rapper, and he is really good with getting science into words that kids understand. And he goes into like the urban settings and raps about science and all of those big words that kids just can't say. And he does songs and he makes it fun. And he, I believe, has a TV show in Philadelphia. So almost our whole group got to see his breakout session for that, which was really cool. And Jen got to go to the front.
More pictures.
He actually did a PowerPoint about African American inventors and scientists to kind of make it diverse to different cultures, because you think of just, Isaac Newton and stuff like that. So he gave you kind of a different perspective on different scientists that were African American.
So we also got to do some sightseeing. We got to see Independence Hall, the Liberty Bell, the Rocky Steps. We went on a tour of those types of things. So we also got a little bit of history behind Philadelphia and where our country came from, which was nice. It wasn't just science that we got to learn about. He was our tour guide. So this is our whole group right there.
This is
This is the next day, which we went to more exhibits. We got a little bit more free time. We didn't have to volunteer quite as long that day. This was a really cool thing. They're trying to get these into the schools. It was a big globe that was inflatable, and you would actually go inside of it and sit there on the floor. They had chairs for us, but they said kids could lay on the floor and look up, and the whole entire globe was kind of a mini Omnimax.
Yeah, it looks like an IMAX.
This is part of the ceiling, so they would take you through the cells of the human body, and you could see every artery and the bones and the muscles of things, and it was very cool to see that. This was the entrance to that. This is Rachel and I. We looked at little butterfly larvae, and we were able to get a small habitat of that so that we could help them to grow and create butterflies from that. This was Hank's presentation that Jen was able to go to the front for, which was exciting. These are the Rocky Steps, so we all ran up them for that movie, yeah. And this is the scenery of Philadelphia behind us. And the Rocky statue. We were able to get our whole group in there for that.
When we went, this was a bunch of the exhibits and breakout sessions and a lot of the pictures we took then. When we presented, we actually did not get to take pictures of us because we were in the front. What we did is we talked to a group of people, probably maybe twice the amount of people, or twice the amount of rows were set up for us, and they were pretty filled for being an early session. We did not know how many people we'd get for presenting so early in the morning. What we did when we presented was, oftentimes people present a literature book, and they just keep it to language arts. They do not expand beyond that. Or science, they oftentimes do not integrate other subjects into it. They keep it science, and they move on in the curriculum and do language arts and move on and do math. Our goal was to create a balance between literature and science and bring the two together and offer creative ideas and activities that we could do to engage the students in the lessons, things that the teachers could take home with them. We all prepared lesson plans, and we were assembled all of them into a book. And at the end also, Dr. Snyder had gone and put extra discrepant events and activities that would engage their students in activities. Our goal throughout the whole theme was to have each group present their story. An example of that would be ours. We did the Goldilocks and the Three Little Bears. Oftentimes people overlook the fact that you could get a science lesson on the transfer of heat from that story. And we presented how our materials were real simple. We used 3 bowls, the same temperature water that was warmed up, and 3 thermometers. And over a period of time, the kids would go and investigate the change in temperature in the bowls. And what they learned is Goldilocks always said that Papa's bowl of porridge was too hot, Mama Bear's was too cold, and Baby Bear's was just right. But what the children learned was that, in fact, that Goldilocks was wrong in her discovery, because Mama Bear's bowl would have been just right when she had her porridge. That was one example of how we went and incorporated literature into science. We had many presentations of this. You can see them up here. We apologize, we do not have sound for the video, but we went through a queuing line and each group would present. And it was a very rewarding experience. We got a lot out of it. We were able to take what we're learning here at Slippery Rock and offer it to other educators that came to the conference. It was also a new experience for us. In prior years, NSTA going to conferences, we have gone to the PSTA conference in Hershey, and our goal is we just present discrepant events. There's short little brief activities that you can use at the beginning to engage students in learning or throughout the lessons, and that was usually our goal. So this year it was fun to incorporate literature, science, and expand beyond just the discrepant events and offer those in our lesson plans with other additional activities. So this was our time at Philadelphia. We got a lot out of it, and it was really enjoyable. We have time for questions if anyone has any for us, or...
The one nice thing about doing the presentation live is we didn't have an issue with sound. Everyone was able to hear us. But you can see a portion here. We had 28 teachers total that sat in and attended our presentation. So for an 8 o'clock start, we felt that was great to have that new audience.
I know you're all going to get jobs as soon as you graduate, and when you get into your school districts, I know that you know how important it is for you to keep developing professionally. And one of the ways we develop professionally is to read journals in our disciplines and to attend conferences like this national conference. Do you feel now better equipped to, when you get in there as new teachers, to make a case to your principal and the Board of Education for sending you and perhaps another teacher to this conference? What would you tell, I'm not putting you on the spot here, but as a school board member and as a professor, I'm really interested in this. What are some things now that you've experienced this that you would say to a school board, a reason why this is so important for them to release you? All they have to do is pay a sub, you'll pay your own way. You know, you really want to go, what could you bring back to the school district? And what would be some of the things that you could say?
I feel one of the things we could say when we go on a conference, I feel that not only are we more prepared to go now, going as students here at Slippery Rock, because we have that experience now. It's not nerve-wracking, you're nervous, you know, you don't know what to expect. But going to a conference and coming back from it, we're able to offer not only our experience, but we can take our school district even and represent it. Even if they wanted, we could be presenters there and offer what our school district has to offer the rest, like other people, other curriculum that we might be doing differently. It would not only help spread our school district's name, but also we can bring back a lot of extra helpful information. I know we've made contacts already with other people. They send us information. They want us to get involved with them. So in order to make that happen, one of the things that I learned about was a new piece of equipment coming out. I recall it to be a Luminex or a Luminaire. They were represented by little ladybugs, but it's a projector. It's not an overhead projector. It works with the smart boards, with the Promethean boards. It's a new piece of technology coming out. It's something that our school district, if they're willing to put the funds in, you're able to offer that idea to the school district, take it back to them, and they can grow in their technology. They're always saying how important and how advancing technology is in education today, especially younger kids coming in already know so much more, that it's nice to offer other ideas and other curriculum that other people have to share with us, with our school district, and get them on board with different things to keep advancing.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Anyone else?
Go ahead. I think
I was going to say, especially with science, a lot of teachers kind of push that to the side. I know we've all been in the field in different classrooms, and science and social studies are both kind of like, oh, we'll do it tomorrow, we'll do it the next day, and they never really get to it. So if you are reading a literature book and can incorporate just a science lesson into that, so you're doing your literature and your science at the same time. Because I know sometimes science seems to take a little longer, especially with younger kids, but if you can be able to incorporate an activity with your literature, then you're kind of killing two birds with one stone. So
I think it's so important too to take what we learned from the conference and bring it back to the school. And I know I went to one workshop and it was all about writing grants and how you can write a grant and you will get, the school district will get the money for whatever type of building that those people are selling. So I really think that's important too, that it's not all of these expensive things that your school is never going to be able to afford, but how we can get them into the school district. And then also just the little tricks that other teachers use, and there's so much networking here with other teachers and other people in the profession that you can bring everything back and incorporate it into your school.
There was just a lot of organizations there. I liked having all the different options that I never knew were available before. Like, there were people from the National Ocean Association and like other things that you can incorporate into your lesson. They give you a lot of free materials that you can take back and use with your kids, and it's just really helpful to see all the different possibilities there are for science whenever we don't really get to see all those different possibilities, and they're all brought together in one area for you to just, go crazy with.
Along with the materials that they presented us with, we actually were saying how often science is pushed aside. I know our school is really big right now. I'm currently student teaching, and they're offering guided reading, and they're working on leveling their books, and it was really nice, and it was a great experience to see that they're bringing that to us with books already leveled. National Geographic had science books already leveled for us according to guiding reading levels that I was able to take home with me. That if I have in a classroom, I could put those books in that leveled section. So if we're doing a daily 5 where we work centers and rotate, the kids will be able to pull one of those science books that they could read a nonfiction book with their literature. So you also get to bring back new materials that if other teachers like, if you could work with students in the PTO and bring more books in for your school for guided reading, things like that.
There's another question.
What other literature books did you use, and what was the science lessons?
I did a lesson on, it was a Dr. Seuss book called Bartholomew and the Oobleck, and we did the cornstarch and water experiment where it was a non-polymer liquid, and it was just, that's really fun for kids to do, because I had fun with playing with it, because like as soon as you apply pressure, it hardens, and then once you let go, it goes into a liquid, so it was really, that was a good one. We also had rainbow fish, we did that, and then there was a cloud lesson on clouds. There was another the Lorax, talking about like the cycle of trees.
Any other questions?
So often, I think teachers automatically think about only nonfiction to make our connection of literacy and science. But it really gives me that that I look at a lot of the nonfiction, the narrative fiction that we have these days. And it's such a waste for something that challenge I maybe with this aspiration so
Any other questions? I just want to make one closing comment from a leadership perspective, and this ties into your question about teachers going to professional conferences. In my experience, in my time in the elementary school, I attended a number of professional conferences, as well as the majority of my teaching staff, my colleagues. However, they were leaders of their students and no more. So those teachers went, they attended, they got great ideas from the sessions and incorporated them in their classrooms. And very few of my colleagues or peers went to conferences and presented as teachers in the elementary school. So the nice thing about seeing them do this is they transform to the next level of leaders, which is being able to share with other teachers, other colleagues in the schools, their information, the great ideas that they have too. So that intimidation factor is hopefully out of the way now, and in their future careers they will not be intimidated to offer presentations that can actually do that level of leadership. I'm very proud of you. Thank you for attending our session. Appreciate it.